Hi, this is Adrienne from Azure, Miami. Today I am with Mr. Kolar, who is with the Falcon Group, as you can see, engineer and architects. And I want to thank you for allowing us to interview you today. Why is it so important? Why is Falcon so important to the integrity and the well-being of the pockets of the condo association, of all the people that own condos within that association? It's not just about the 40-year inspection, although if you're like retirement, within that 1 year of knowing that you're going to have to do a 40-year inspection, a 50-year inspection, it's really important to get all of your ducks in a row, all of your balls together in one bucket to bring on a professional company and someone knowledgeable like Mr. Kolar. So I just want to take a moment to find out what is it that you do and why is it important? Are you only doing 40-year inspections or are you doing a whole package? Maybe you can explain it to me.
Sure. So first, thank you very much for talking to me about this.
Of course.
As engineers, as a Falcon Group, we help the associations, we help our clients to the entire package, to the entire preparation for not just 40-year specifications, but anything and everything that can happen to a condo building, to an association through its life. Through its life from the inception, which is basically from the building being built, all the way to what you call it, is a retirement, 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever comes later. You mentioned 1 year to 40. In some instances, 1 year may be too late.
Wow.
So prepare.
Wow, so it's good to know that just in 1 year within your 40-year recertification, it might not be enough. You might need to come in 2 years in advance, and you also want to make sure that you really have dedicated board members, not the ones that are just bored that happen to be, oh, I have nothing to do, I'm going to be on the condo association, because it comes down to the integrity of, will you be able to live there? Will you be able to pay all of the special assessments? You know, who's going to come in and do the reporting? So maybe you can take us through what the process is.
Sure. So it's very simple when it comes to the overall process. I think the key to this is what is 40 year.
What is the 40-year
So
inspection?
the 40 year is basically a way of the building departments to ensure that you are maintaining your building. So if you've maintained the building through its life, 40 years for you is going to be a breeze. It's going to be a walk in the park. So this is meant basically for the associations that deferred the work and decided not to do anything.
They waited too long. I see some rebars showing through. They keep patching up the roof. And what about all those things that we can't see, which we leave to the professionals?
Correct. So that's where we come in. If you maintain your building, this is going to be an easy work for you. If you haven't, that's why I said a year may not be enough. And all depends, again, what type of association you are.
Of course.
If you're preparing for this and you're genuinely vested into protecting your property, then you want to first take the approach of assessing the property. By the way, 40-year involves only structural and electrical.
40-year again, only structure and electrical. But so then what about the pool? What just about everything? What about the plumbing? What about the GFIs in the apartments that are 20, 30, 40 years old that it's not up to code? So what happens?
And a great point that you're bringing there. And I think that's very important also to clarify. The 40 year is not bringing the building up to code. You don't have to bring the building up to code.
Okay.
40 is there only to ensure that what you have, if it was legal and permitted at the time the building was built, is maintained and operational and does not prevent a life safety issue. That's what a 40 is about.
This is very important to know, because everyone thinks, oh my gosh, it's a 40-year recertification and we got to redo everything. Maybe if the condo associations can take the time to plan out what needs to be done when you have caring board members on there and that are also watching the bottom line. Can you just take us through what happened? So you've gone in, you've assessed everything. Now what happens? Is your job done? Do you say, here's your report? Or can you really hold our hand and watch our pocketbooks to take us through that process and those next steps?
Sure. So the first step, again, as I said, is an assessment. Right. By the way, if you do it before you are due for 40 or 50 years, it is not something that is mandatory, it's not something that is required. Only after the city or the municipality sends you notification is when you have to actually provide a response.
Then it's scary.
Yeah,
okay.
but if you do it in advance, it's basically what I like to call a pre-40-year assessment. Basically, the building is going to get a bill of health. It's going to say, this is what's right, this is what's wrong. And that's the first phase. That's phase number one.
Okay.
Phase number two now becomes, how do we fix it? So that's where the engineers come in, prepare a set of specifications, set of plans that obviously need to be permitted. This is where the bringing the building up to code comes in play, because once you start fixing something, it needs to be fixed in accordance with the present code.
Okay.
So that's the second step.
Okay.
Third step is, how do we select a contractor?
Well, this is what's scary, because if you're doing a kitchen in just a condo or your home, it's a process. So we're talking about a board member, because we've all been there, and now we come to your company that you're with, and you do the 40-year, and you find out there's issues that really need to be looked at. So now we're coming to you and say, what do we do? What do I know about construction? Finding a company for plumbing. Okay, if I need a plumber because there's too much hair in the sink, I'll call Roto-Rooter. Well, what do I do when it's a whole building? When there's 400 units, when there's 40 units? What are those next steps? We don't know what to look for. We don't know if these people are legitimate, are they not legitimate, are they a contractor that's working on their uncle, their cousin, that they're borrowing, because this falls on us.
Agreed.
The people.
Agreed. And unfortunately, like in any business, there is a certain level of trust that you have to put into your professionals.
Right.
Which, in order to be able to select a proper professional, a proper vetting needs to be put in place.
Okay.
So selecting Falcon Group is something that boards will take very seriously, should take very seriously, through a vetting process, through a comparison to our competition, and saying this is the best company we want to work with, through an interview, through a reference check, through anything and everything that board or the management company, which is an integral part of this whole entire process, through their own resources. Forget about references that I'm going to provide. I'm going to put 3 names that are the best names that I can put. But you want to go to your network of other managers and ask questions. Have you ever worked with them?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Have you ever worked with them?
To go to other associations and say, hey, we need this done. Why should we hire the Falcon Group? What did they do for you? What can they do for you?
Exactly that.
So it's kind of like you're going in, you're turning 50, 55, just as a general, and you start going for all these different tests that maybe you didn't have when you were 30 and 40 because you didn't need to. It's kind of like an old car that you want to keep running. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it needs to be maintained. And that's the biggest problem, is people don't maintain. They don't maintain their health. They don't maintain the health of the condominiums and associations. And then too many people have been doing what they want in these HOAs. But I think it's really important to have someone like Mr. Kolar and the Falcon Group. They're in all of these major cities, 9 states around the country. And I think it's really important that you get a company like them specifically, involved, because they're going to watch it from what is happening, what needs to be done. We can help you with the criteria and the selection of who's being hired, and then overseeing that until it gets done. So you're not just taking out money as if it's, Christmas gifts, Hanukkah gifts, Kwanzaa gifts, or any gifts. So now we've had the 40-year, now we've put it out to bid. Now what happens after the bidding process? Now the board has said, okay, we're going to select the company. Are you going to drop holding my hand? Or are you still going to hold my hand through the process?
We're with the association until the end. And there is another reason for that. We want to make sure that the project is done properly, that it's done meeting the codes, meeting the drawings, meeting the standards, meeting everything that a project of this caliber needs to meet. And more importantly, because we are doing all of this, means we had problems at the beginning. But you want somebody at the end of the project to say, everything has been corrected, and here is a clean bill of health. So somebody can sign off on that 40-year at the end and give it to the building department and say, this building is now in good shape and it's good enough for the next 10 years.
See, this is really important, because if you're going to be living in your condo for a lot of years, and then you have a lot of investors and a lot of people that are snowboards that come and go, but people like myself that are based here in South Florida and Mr. Kolar, it's important that when these projects have to be done, that it's done with trust, transparency, and integrity. And this is essential for doing business. If you have liens on the property, if there are issues that are not being corrected, you can't sell it. If you're somebody that wants to sell it or somebody that wants to buy it, it really becomes an issue about buying and selling, okay? But I want to thank Mr. Kolar for his time. I want you to get a hold of the Falcon Group or call me, Adrienne at Azure Miami. Get in touch with me. We'll put you in touch with them. DC, Delaware, Virginia, they're in many major locations throughout the United States. And this is a company that you want. So I want to thank you, wish you all a happy holiday. Thank Mr. Kolar for your time and energy, and wish you peace, love, and
you very
happiness
much.
as I always do.
Thank you.
Take care.